Hello, Dream Team. Welcome back to our podcast.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, beautiful people, Dream Team? Welcome to another exciting podcast of Here's a Thought with the Max. My name is Lerato Mageta.
And I am Phetola Mageta.
The ever so beautiful.
The ever so handsome.
Come on.
And this beautiful scenery is
Yes.
brought to you courtesy of Stage 8 Load Shedding.
Yes, or Brakod in Arawet, aka. Guys, we've got a new thing that we'd like to introduce, and that is called
Yeah.
Comment of the Week, because as much as we can't get to all of your comments all the time, we want you to know that we do appreciate them, we do see them. So I'm going to read our comment of the week, and this comment comes from Garabetswe Faith, and she was basically responding to our 12-year journey, lessons in love, life, and parenting. And she says, man, I'm so intrigued by how you guys keep on falling in love with each other and the friendship. Top tier, and it seems like it really keeps y'all going even in hardships. Such a beautiful love story. Thank you so much,
love
Gerabetswe. We appreciate you. We love you. Keep those comments coming, guys. We do read them. We don't always get to them, but we do read them, and we appreciate you.
And I think this comment, baby, also inspired our conversation today, guys.
Yeah.
Today we want to talk about friendships.
Friendships, man.
I can't believe that we've actually never had a segment on friendships.
That's true. We haven't.
Yeah.
We've kind of spoken about our best friends in passing, but we haven't had a proper talk on friendship.
And I think when we decided to have this conversation, I was reminded of the verse that we used on our wedding invitation.
Yeah.
It was, as iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. It's in Proverbs.
Yeah.
I think Proverbs 27. Or is it Proverbs 17:27? Check it out. And it made me think, babe, about how our friendships have contributed to who we are today. I mean, from childhood, you know?
For sure.
I remember, guys, when I prayed for a husband, I know it was a selfish prayer. Baby, do you know that I prayed for a husband who doesn't have
friends?
A gang of
who doesn't
friends.
have friends?
No,
didn't want me to have friends, Gus.
No, a gang. I was like, Lord, I don't want that. I don't want, firstly, I was like,
You don't want to compete.
No. It's not even about that.
Okay.
I was like, I don't want a man who loves sports. Because men who love sports always have this gang of friends. And then when they have these gang of friends, you must now entertain them.
Yeah.
They'll be at our house every weekend.
Yeah.
Now I must be cooking for your friends. I must be playing wife for your friends. I was just like, Lord, no. At least you must just have...
Marv is not a big fan of hosting. She's not... Which is okay, but
like, you
she's
must just have maybe 3 friends in life.
And look at God. Because, well... I'm happy. Don't get me wrong. I'm happy.
So tell me about your friendships. I know that you had a girl best friend as a young boy in the streets of New York.
Yeah. I had two. I had two friends that were girls, but I was in kindergarten.
Yeah.
You know,
which is what? Is it preschool?
The point is, I was 5, somewhere around. I was Rua's age.
Okay,
I guess.
You were 4.
Yeah, I was 4 or 5.
Yeah.
And it was Sarah and Kinu Yamamoto.
Okay.
Who I actually found on Facebook a couple of years ago.
Nice.
And I was just like, hey, I don't know, are you this person? And she was like, oh my God! You know, it was kind of cool. But yeah, I've never been a crew person. Never had a big group of friends. I think it's largely driven by the fact that I'm a lover, you know.
Certified lover boy.
You know what I mean? Like, I really like the idea of going deeper. You understand? That surface stuff, you know. So I just found it easier to navigate throughout my life. And I would always have that one best friend in different areas of my life. So I remember when we were living in Yeovil, I had a best friend in Yeovil. I had a best friend at school. I had a best friend at church. I had a best friend in my family. You know what I mean? Like, it was always like that. It was never just like a collective. Like, yeah.
So I think our personalities are very much the same when it comes to friendships. I'm also I've got friends, right? I call myself an extroverted introvert. I absolutely love people and I make friends very easily. Like when I get into a space, I will not leave without having made a connection.
Sure.
But I find that with the people that I share almost everything with, my circle is very small.
Your inner circle.
My inner circle is very small. So I do have friends, but my inner circle is very small. Even from childhood, we used to have like a big group of friends playing in the streets, but I'd have like that one or two friends that I would share my innermost thoughts with. And things changed slightly. I found that in high school, I still had a close-knit friends. I had Sibe and Gitumetse. We were called the Three Musketeers.
Yeah.
And then varsity, my group sort of widened. And then after varsity, my group sort of shrunk again.
Yeah.
But I think, personally, I strongly believe that every person, if you don't have friends, guys, get friends, hey? I feel like I'm a better wife because I have friends.
Get the right friends.
Get the right friends.
Yeah.
Get the right friends. Get friends.
the right
Get
friends.
friends that edify you. Friends that pour into your cup as equally as you pour into theirs. Get friends that encourage you. Get friends that pray for you. And I feel like I've been blessed in that department. I mean, I've had a few fallouts along the way with friends.
Yeah.
But in the most part, I've been really blessed with the friends that I have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get friends that hold you accountable as well.
Yeah.
For me, it was quite difficult coming into marriage, trying to navigate friendships. I think we've told you guys before. I had a lot of female friends, and it was kind of difficult, to now. So I had the idea that after we get married, nothing is going to change, right? And I was mistaken. I was like, well, I do understand that there could be some insecurity around that, and for the sake of me also just being above reproach, I had to change my mind about a lot of things. But it helped when my wife understood that I wasn't out to get her. You know what I mean? I think it was around that era that I was starting to explain to her that no, this is me from kindergarten. Like I just, you know what I mean? I'm not putting it on. I'm not trying to frustrate you. You know what I mean? And we spend some time, just trying to find a middle ground. And I suppose that middle ground was also understanding, at least for myself, that what was important, was me continuing with these friendships important, or was my wife's was the health of our relationship more important for me? Was my wife feeling secure in the relationships that I have more important? And that definitely was more important for me ultimately.
I'm pulling a face
Yeah.
because as you're speaking, like what you're saying makes me sound so insecure, but I think, guys, in my defense, I have to defend myself just to give context, right? As much as Lerato had a lot of female friends, I feel like I remember when we spoke about it in the previous installment, it was a case of I felt like there were no boundaries.
Sure.
There were no boundaries as far as the friendships. Lerato had friends, female friends, that would call him at midnight to say, I'm stuck somewhere, come fetch me. So I felt like there was no sort of respect for the relationship. I understand that that's probably maybe the kind of relationship that they had before he had a wife. But when someone brings someone into their circle, like a wife or someone that they're serious about, I feel like as a friend, you need to also respect that relationship.
Absolutely.
And obviously, the onus was on you to put those boundaries in place, right? So I feel like we had those kind of issues because I felt like there are no boundaries.
Yeah, look, I think it just aggravated the situation a little bit more because they were female.
Yeah.
Because the truth is, when it came to my male friends, they would do the same thing. So do you remember we used to have issues around the fact that it was like somebody would call at whatever time and be like, yo, do you understand? So the issues were actually the same,
Yes.
whether it was male or female,
Yes.
right? And that's kind of what I'm putting on the table to say, there was a personality that I had when it came to my friendships.
Okay.
And the personality was that of go-to guy. The personality was that
Which is a good thing.
right? It was
It means that you are loyal and reliable.
it was the personality it was personified by when all else fails, this is the guy that we can depend on. Or if anything, when they ask that question, it's like in an emergency, like right now, who are you calling, right?
Yeah.
I used to pride myself in being that person. Now, one of the things that you have to kind of so the point of that was whether it was my male friends or my female friends, that was something that I now had to navigate. I had to teach and say, guys, the game has changed. The thing is, though, it took me a while to accept that the game had changed. So I'm not just putting it on my friends, because you as the friend, as the party who is married, it's your responsibility to teach the people around you and say, okay, dilo di chenchit.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yeah.
And it took me a while to kind of get that, because I was still stuck in what's the big deal, right? But I was young. I was, I didn't, and today I get it. I own it, and I'm like, oh, okay. But I didn't know better, and now that I know better, I'm doing better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we're not going to dwell on this because we spoke extensively about it. I think I find that I also had some male friends, but I found that, and maybe it's a guy code, I don't know, when I got married, I could see that my guy friends were sort of pulling away a bit.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
didn't even have to pull away, but I could see that they were just
I think
voluntarily.
I think they took their cues from you, babe.
Okay.
I do.
Okay.
And this is why I'm saying that it's the responsibility of the married partner.
Yeah, yeah.
To teach your friends.
So do you feel like I was intentional?
You were, because you would say so.
Okay.
So there were conversations my wife would
Why are
have.
you laughing?
Because it's weird. It's one of the things that made me fall in love with you. But like in
Like, what
hindsight, I'm
would I
going, you were
have?
crazy.
Oh, with that ex.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that ex was
and by
just
the way,
shady.
well, I get you, but
Yeah.
but I wouldn't have had an issue.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So my wife would I'd be sitting with her, and she would, the brother would
Yeah.
call, and right there in front of me, she'd be like, "Listen, I'm in a relationship now." This is when like the beginning of our relationship. She's like, "Listen, I'm in a relationship." So he was going through some stuff at the time. So she was like, I can't be there for you the way that I used to be there for you. So do me a favor, don't call me, don't text me. I don't want my husband to start to question like our
What's
relationship.
happening?
Not my husband, my boyfriend. I don't want my
Yeah.
boyfriend to start to question like what's happening. I mean, it was so hot. Like at the time, I was like, "Damn, that's crazy!"
And
right?
you didn't think there would be the
Right.
same expectation.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So for me, it was
I
like something
get
I
it.
appreciated, and I was like, "Whoa, that's different." Like,
Yeah.
that's whoa, But I think that I was going to be expected to reciprocate it.
Yeah.
Nah, I didn't.
You know what I'm
You know.
interested in finding out, my
Yeah.
love? With the friendships that you had, outside of the ones that we've just spoken about, why do you think some of those friendships didn't work out? Because you did have like really close friends. I mean, if you guys look at our wedding picture, there are people that we had obviously selected as abakapi, our his groomsmen, my bridesmaids.
Yeah.
And you'll see that there are one or two people that are not in our lives anymore.
Yeah.
For you, what do you think, what went wrong?
I wouldn't say what went wrong. Maybe what went right.
Oh, okay.
Growth.
Yeah.
Evolving, change. Also, maybe part of it was also me trying to figure it out. Trying to figure out like this life thing and what it is that I need out of a friendship in the context of my new life.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Your
you
new
can't
life as a married
man.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Like,
okay.
because you don't just carry on. You know,
Sure.
it's and there were a lot of things honestly that I was confused about. None of us fought. You know, none of my friends and I fought. None of us disagreed.
Yeah.
But we kind of drifted. That's the word.
Got you.
You know, we
Got
drifted
you.
over the years. Another thing about friendships is you have to be intentional.
Yeah.
You know, and what kept you together years ago also evolves. You know, so even that has to change. Once upon a time, we were groovists, and groove was what brought us together. Now we're no longer having the same conversation. So,
Yeah.
you know, you kind of have to reinvent the friendship.
Yeah.
And I'll be fair and say that I didn't put in the work
Sure.
to
sustain.
see the evolution through of
Got
our
you.
friendships. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Yourself?
Whew. I was hoping you wouldn't ask
Yeah.
me. So I think with me, I feel like I'm the kind of friend who loves boldly, who loves loudly and loves intensely. And I show it. I show it in, I mean, with the friends, the close friends that I have, you know, I always speak about my best friend Sipe, and I always speak about my sister. I talk to those guys every day, you know, and that's how for me friendship, like deep friendship, is about, right?
Yeah.
Connecting on a deeper level, being able to be vulnerable with each other. So I find that with maybe my past relationships, my other friends had different love languages, and I wasn't able to, what's the word? I couldn't deal with it. I couldn't accept them for how they loved me, and it in turn it came across as though they didn't appreciate me. I sometimes felt like they didn't love me as much as I loved them. So it was a case of they are my close friends, but I'm not theirs. So
Sure.
I found that I didn't really feel appreciated, you know, and the one
You didn't feel a reciprocation.
and it would hurt. Do you know what I mean? It would hurt, and it came to a point where I was just like, no,
Yeah.
this is not what I want.
Yeah.
I'm a friend that loves hard. I'm
For
a
sure.
friend that will call you every day to talk
Yeah.
about nothing.
For sure.
I'm a friend that will share the deep things with you. You know, not thinking that, oh, if I tell this one, o tlo ntshwara ka pelo. No, I trust my friends, you know, and I want friends that, because, you know, I found that also with friendships, né? I find that, but correct me if I'm wrong, you guys, you can type in the comment section. If you find that you have a friend who never shares themselves with you, I feel like they don't trust you.
Fair.
If they can't share, if your friend is going for like a job interview, or if your friend has bought a new house and they can't share that with you. Yes, I understand that, okay, some people want to incubate. Incubating is great, but if you find that there is a pattern where you find out once your friend has given birth that your friend has just had a child, like they can't even tell you that they're pregnant
Yeah.
or they're getting married, then that person doesn't trust that you have their best interest at heart. They don't trust that.
Well,
Yes. Did
no,
I say it right?
yeah, you're absolutely right. And
Yeah.
and I think one of the complications then is when you're in a really good relationship or
Yeah.
marriage, your expectations of your friendships change. Your expectation actually grows because at the end of the day, it's a relationship.
Yeah.
So you suddenly know what love looks like.
Ooh, that's
You suddenly
good.
know what companionship feels like. You know what friendship does to you. You know what I'm saying?
What it tastes like.
What it tastes like. You know what I'm saying? And so what happened to me was I went on a little bit of a look, you know, I took like 100 steps back and I was like, well, what do I want? And very much like coming into a relationship with my wife and feeling like I stopped believing that this kind of thing existed, even though it's what I knew in my heart of hearts I wanted, right?
Sure.
This kind of woman. But I stopped believing that she existed. The friendship that I have right now with my best friend, it was exactly the same thing.
You're so cute when you say your best friend. Guys, the way Lerato loves
I
his best friend. So
I stopped believing that kind of relationship could exist with him. You know what I'm saying? And then, we're just feeling each other out like, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, so we, right? And it was just that giving ourselves permission to forget that childish thinking, you know what I mean? Of like, why are you gay? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, like you're allowed to be in relationship with a brother, and it's so healthy as well, like finding a friend that you can love like fully.
And tell them and say, I
and
love
tell them
you,
like
bro.
I love you, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that was a thing for me. But I don't know that I would have had capacity to be in the kind of relationship that I'm in with my best friend had it not been for you.
Really?
Does it make sense?
Sure. And
Yeah.
I love this particular relationship for you, babe, because when you're with someone, you want the best for them.
No,
I mean,
she's not shy about telling me.
No, and I mean, you've had friends in the past where I was just like, these guys don't have your best interest at heart.
Yeah.
Where I know that I can trust Nat.
Yeah.
I can trust Nat to hold you accountable. I can trust him to... And I mean, I haven't even spent enough time with Nat, but I see...
It's my report as well.
And also I see how you come alive. And I see... when you talk about the conversations that you're having with Nat, I can hear that these conversations are building. These conversations, you guys pour into each other's lives. And
For sure.
you also, you don't hold anything back. You guys are very honest with each other. So I trust that Nat is the one person that wants the best for you.
For sure.
And your relationship is just very transparent.
Yeah.
Which also reminds me of my relationship.
Right, with Skips.
And with my sister as well. I mean, I think...
Shout out Rubes.
I think as much as, my sister's my sister, my sister's my best friend.
Yeah.
Because we are sisters by default, but we are friends by choice, right?
For sure.
And I find that with them, the one thing that makes our relationship tick, guys, also is, I don't know about you, but I find that when your friends are different to you, when you have different interests, and when you have a different vision for your lives, it just works better.
Yeah.
But I find that friends that have the same interests, sometimes it might be a challenge.
Could be, yeah.
It could be. I'm not saying that it always is, but I find that when you guys are different, like your friend is, I mean, I don't even know what Skips does. Skips, what do you do? She's like, I know she's very important.
She works
she's
in
like,
IT.
I think she's a business analyst.
I think she's in IT.
I think she's a business analyst with an IT and a technical background.
Got
she's,
you.
She's just very important, that friend of mine, right?
Yeah.
But we're very different. Even in fashion, we've got different taste in
For
fashion.
sure.
We've got different taste in music.
Yeah.
We've got different taste in men. We have different taste in a lot. And I find that the fact that we're so different works. I found that with some of my friends, maybe in the past, we had such similar interests that sometimes, maybe unknowingly, there's competition that lurks in the background without actually knowing it.
Yeah.
Which maybe brings mistrust.
Sure.
Because you guys possibly want the same things. I don't know.
No, you're right. And we spoke
Yeah.
about this the other day. So my best friend is an actor, and
A brilliant one at that.
he's an amazing actor.
Yeah.
He's so good.
He even
He's so much
paused.
better than me. You see, Chief, This can be problematic. No, but we spoke about how we were, we would go for the same auditions, But I love that season, and it was kind of in the beginning of our friendship and how it grew a maturity in both of us, to be able to say, this is really hard for me, but I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray that you get it. And then he got it, guys. Like, I actually prayed. I said, Lord, give the job to that bror. And I was hungry. And he got it.
And we needed that job.
You know what I'm saying?
I was just like,
You know what I'm saying? And not to say, I could have not prayed for him, and he could have gotten it, right, without my prayer. But the point is, in that time, I think that's what solidified our friendship, to just be like, you can also be in relationship. It's harder to be in relationship with people that are the same, right? That want the same things out of life and whatever. So you want the same thing that he wants, and then how do you, and then you're doing well, and how does he deal with that? And he's doing well, and how do you deal with that? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But it just grounds you, man, and just, maturity. It's just another level of love.
And I think it takes
that you gotta tap into.
And also, my love, I love what you're saying, because it is possible to have relationships with people that are similar to you and that have the same interests as you, but I think it takes a level of vulnerability. All
100%.
friendships take a level of vulnerability,
100%.
but I think you need to tap into that vulnerability. Where I was watching a video of a lady the other day. It came onto my stories.
Yeah.
And this lady is struggling with infertility. And she was crying. She was just like, guys. So she has been taking people on her infertility journey, doing IVF and sharing with people the outcomes and disappointments of failed pregnancy tests. And she was so gutted. She was like, guys, I just found out that my best friend is pregnant.
Sure.
And she's like, no pregnancy has hit me the way this one has hit me.
Sure.
And I appreciate it. And she was like, I'm so happy for her, but I'm so sad for me.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that level
Sure.
of vulnerability, because I find that sometimes in friendships, when we want the same things, we aren't able to come to each other and say, friend, I'm happy for you, but I'm so sad for me. And in this moment, I want you, because as friends, when we're broken, we come to each other. But when we can't deal with maybe each other's successes or each other's triumphs, then we're scared to come to each other.
We are scared to come to each other, and this is why, guys, get you off. Listen, guys, can I tell you something? My friend called me and he said to me, bro, I'm not going to tell you exactly what he was talking about, but he was like, this is really hard for me. And I don't know why I'm struggling with this thing that you are doing so much, but I'm battling. I knew exactly where it was coming from, but, we started chatting about it, And if anything, my heart went out to him, because I was like, I know what that feels like.
Sure.
I was like, I know what that feels like. And I wish I could just, I'm giving you permission to release yourself. Like, you don't have to carry the guilt of it. You don't have to, it is what it is. We're human. Find people that are going to help you find your human expression, your human response to something, you know what I mean? And they just lay out a red carpet of grace, and they're like, bro, it's not that deep. Like, it's cool, I get it. And then afterwards, let's laugh at ourselves. Like, man, that's how crazy is that I went through that. You know what I mean? There can be jealousy in friendships,
sure,
but you're also allowed to talk about it. You're also allowed to confess it to your best friend, to be like, yo, I'm feeling a little bit jealous about this thing, right? Because that's what companionship is. That's what friendship is.
I love what you're saying, because I think also to have a healthy friendship, a healthy relationship, there has to be mutual respect. Guys, there's nothing worse than being in a relationship with a friend who thinks they are better than you.
Ooh.
And I find that I've had friendships like that where I could tell that this person man.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like, this person doesn't see me. You can tell that they think that they're smarter than me. And I think that is a huge problem. I find that with the friendships that I have, I respect my sister. I think she's smart. I think she's hardworking. I think she's got such amazing qualities. And equally, she thinks the same of me.
For sure.
And I can tell, I can see, even with Sibe, I can tell that she respects me. And I can tell that, I think she's one of the smartest people in the world. She's a deep thinker, right? And she thinks, she's like you, actually. It's so weird because she's
we are
exactly
kind of alike,
like you, right? And I think she's so smart, right? But equally, she thinks I'm smart.
Sure.
And she respects me.
You're right.
And I think that's why our relationship has worked. And I'm constantly happy for her.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, my friend is balling, guys.
Yeah, no, they're alive. they're good.
My friend is balling. And I remember the one year when things were going badly for us and we actually moved to Soweto because we just couldn't afford these suburbs, guys.
We couldn't afford to breathe, guys. Air was expensive. Do you understand?
And I remember Skips moved into, so they had bought a house and they moved into an even bigger house, a larger house. And we were like at a time where things were just bad for us. But I was so happy for her.
For sure.
I was so happy for her because she's, when you become friends and you even become sisters, you're not just friends anymore. Right? So I really think that also pray for your heart. Pray for your heart. There's a scripture that I love. It says, may the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable to you, O Lord. Just pray that may God create a clean heart in you, that you can love your friends openly and honestly with vulnerability and respect them.
So here's a life hack, though.
Yeah.
So here's a hack for me. When I'm battling, when it comes to like envy, pray for the person.
Ooh.
Don't pray for yourself. Pray for the person.
To do even better.
To do even better. Oh my God. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
What God does in your heart.
Sure.
It releases you of all of that. Pray for them. Say, Lord, and even more.
Yeah.
Give them more, and may they have more breakthroughs, and may their businesses thrive, and may their relationship, may their marriage thrive, may they have more kids.
Oh,
may they, you know what I'm saying?
Love
like,
it.
pray for them.
And baby, like in parting, over and above praying for them, I loved what you and Nat did when you were struggling, because once you have confessed how you're feeling, the enemy can't use it against you.
For sure.
The enemy can't come and be like, your friend is doing better than you.
Yeah.
Your friends are so much further than you are.
Yeah.
Because those are some of the things that we get taunted with.
Yeah,
that we're
absolutely.
failures and our friends are doing so much better. But it's not a competition, remember. And the people that are in your lives are there to sharpen you.
Yeah.
They are there to pray with you and for you. And my prayer is that you have those friends that want the best for you. We've also been blessed to have a community of friends in church. We have the most amazing home cell group. And in that group, baby, we could share ourselves. Do you know what I mean? We didn't hold anything back, which was so liberating.
Yeah, my parting is, I love this quote that says, surround yourself with people whose eyes light up when you enter the room.
Ooh.
Right? Because I like to just complicate everything.
Yeah.
And I never take everything at face value.
Yeah.
I say also pay attention when your eyes light up when somebody enters the room. You know what I'm saying? Pay attention to that as well, because I think when it comes to my best friend and I, we pursued each other because our eyes lit up and we were like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? And there's that responsibility. I also have, you know, in my circle, apart from my best friend, I know my sister is like she's my biggest fan. She's like, yo, like, right?
Oh, what's up?
Yeah, no, she proper, you know what I mean? And she WhatsApps herself and I WhatsApp her. You understand?
Guys, you should you should hear the conversations. I'm just like, yo, but
Jerry Le Claudine. It's important, guys.
Yeah,
it's important. You know what I'm saying? And every relationship and every friendship needs different things. You know what I mean? But I'm more bringing my sister in when you talk about that part of I'm a fan.
Ooh.
Like I'm her fan. Like I believe in her more than I believe in myself.
Ooh.
Like I think she's great, and I think so when things are happening, it's easy. I celebrate her. I'm like, yeah, Donna, come on, keep it going, whatever. You know what I mean? And I fan that flame, and she takes it. She's like, yes, yeah, and I'm like, yeah.
She's like, give it to me, bro.
You know what I'm saying? That's what it's supposed to be. And then don't forget, don't be doing that out in the streets, right? Because we're talking about friendship. And then you're not doing it to your spouse, guys.
Who?
Be best friends. Your spouse is your best friend, guys. All of the best of you that you're giving to your friends, and you know they're making these speeches and they're crying at the pulpit and they're saying, you know, this guy, I remember it was 3:00 in the morning and he came to my rescue, right? This guy, right? But you can't wake up at 3:00 because your wife has got a flu and you can't go and make her, you know, soup.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, at home, she found it. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. We love you. Please remember to comment. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment, share, turn on that notification bell to know every single time we upload a new installment.
Yes.
I love you. I adore you.
I love you.
We love you guys. We adore you.
Yes.
To my best friend, Nat, to her best friend, Skips.
And my sister,
you know,
Migo,
shout out.
and to
my
all
sister,
our friends,
Popo.
And to all our friends. Oh, okay.
My sister, Popo, and to all of our friends.
To all our
shout
loving
out.
friends,
we love you guys.
We love you and we thank you for your prayers and for your love.
Peace and blessings. One time, two real.
Oh,
yes. Peace and blessings, people.
Bye.